This is episode 100 of the Gold Squadron podcast. I'm your host, Dion Morales, and today I'm joined by a ton of people who we'll get to here in a minute. But of course, I have my co-host, Marcel Manzano.
I got a new headset.
And he sounds so good. And
I sound almost as sexy as Dion.
Almost. You're trying.
Almost. Trying.
Almost. And Will Hagewood.
Yeah, I was going to say something, but that won't be appropriate. So moving on.
And we move on. So the plan today is we're going to take a second and talk about the fact that the Unofficial Rules Committee has released their first document. We're going to talk about tidbits from the FFG live stream featuring Wave 3. We're going to ask the people in the town hall how they heard about Gold Squadron podcast and what are their favorite X-Wing moments, plus whatever organically comes up. We, of course, can talk about it. But real quick, I do need to take a shout out to our patrons. The patron rewards are starting to ship, okay? They come out quarterly. I'm starting to get everything together. I actually have some people who agreed to come and help me on Thursday. Paid, of course. I'm like, hey, here, can I throw money at you and you help me? And they're like, yeah, okay, cool. So we're going to be in the basement getting things ready. Squad leaders, of course, you guys get your stuff shipped out first. So you should start seeing those things hitting those mailboxes soon. And I do want to remind you that our Gold Squadron podcast rewards ship quarterly. It's different than some other podcasts and their programs. I had a couple people confused between a couple different ones. Ours are quarterly, packed to the brim in that envelope as much as we can. And I do want to, I kind of want to give a spoiler for the next quarter. Just like a small one. It's episode 100, so I figured we should try to like, I mean, I feel like I should give the people just a little more. High ground. That's it. I'm done. Okay? That's it. I know that seems like it's a lot, but that you know nothing. You know nothing. That's all I'm saying.
That's Obi-Wan and Anakin. What are you talking about? I know nothing.
You know nothing. You don't know. You don't know, Marcel. You think you know, but I got you. I got you right where I want you.
Obi-Wan spanked Anakin on that one.
I'm just saying.
Okay. You
think you know, but you don't know what you know because only I know. That's how it goes. Yeah, they don't even know, ladies and gents.
I have no idea.
They don't even know. New Patreon shout-outs. Thank you to Kyle, Jeff, Damian, Ronan, and Michael. Y'all are awesome. Welcome to the club. Here we go. So the Unofficial Rules Committee came out with their first document, which I so expertly forgot to link in here. Great job, Dion. And I just wanted to take a second here because I'm hearing some back and forth between some community members on their feelings on the rules committee. Will, what are some things that you're hearing? What are your thoughts on this? I know we didn't get to chat about it last time. Go ahead.
Well, I could see the both sides of the coin here. That I guess we're going to go debate style. I'll take the negatives, and Marcel, you can take the positives. But there's some, I can see some negatives to it. TOs being, say, pressured into the rules, and kind of our elite overlords ruling for tournaments that they're not even marshaling. I personally don't think that that's a problem, but I could see how it could be viewed as one.
Yeah, I mean, to counter that point, you know, there's just like there's this one. There's also another secret super special group for TOs and organizers on Facebook, and even there it was brought up already. Like, why should I listen to you guys? Like, who are you? And but the reality comes like, whenever there's ambiguity, the people are already going to be fighting the TOs about it. Like, no, there's ambiguity. Read this card. And this is one way where kind of the community is just putting it together and saying, like, we understand there's ambiguity, but we're coming together to say, in this ambiguity, this is how we're going to rule. And the best part is that it's most of the judges that are doing the premier events all around the world, in Europe and Australia, and here around North America, and I don't know if they got anybody from South America, but yeah, they've got people from all over the place.
Yeah, agreed. So if you haven't seen it yet, we're not going to go, break down the rules document here. That's something for another day that we can do. But the link will be in the description. We've actually just dropped it into the show notes and in the Discord. Thank you to Peck614 for getting it in there. And so you guys can take a look through it. My personal feelings on it, we did talk to Chico last week about it, is kind of what you were talking about, Marcel, is the fact that it gives TOs something to stand on. If you don't have a reason for yourself, if you're having trouble with a certain ruling or something like that, you have some type of evidence to stand on, like, hey, listen, this has been researched by a group of people, and the people who are in this on the rules committee are people who have marshaled major events. You got Brett Wong, you got Chris Brown, you got Ian Hamp. Okay, those three men, just those three, have marshaled the majority of the United States System Opens that have happened in total, in all of them, since even first edition. So there's experience there. So I know for us, like gold squadrons, like league nights and stuff like that, like for us, this is going to be our rules. But of course, nobody's forced to use it. It's unofficial. And if your personal TO says no, this I want to rule it this way, don't give them a hard time. That's fine. They're up to themselves. But I read through it, and I think everything in here is sound. Again, we'll go and break some of those things down later. Be some good topics for quick tips too.
Yeah, I think just one point on that because you mentioned the TOs out there that might go. Let's say they go rogue. So you got the TO out there that go rogue. For those who do TOs out there that you've got, like, no, this is the way it should be, and this is my interpretation. This is written as whatever they call it. If you're going to do that, go right ahead, but please go ahead and let the people that are going to be going to your event know, whether it's through your Facebook group, through email, but let them know this is how I'm going to rule these things, because that's typically just as a quick heads up to any TO or any organizer out there. If you don't put it out there ahead of time, you're going to get challenged on it, and you're going to have angry people on one side or the other. So just rule on it ahead of time. Don't wait till the question is asked.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, from what I hear, when I was setting up not System Opens, hyperspace trials, each person I talked to who about the rulings for their specific trial, everyone said, we're waiting for the rules. Whenever the rules say the unofficial rules supplement is what we're doing. So it seems to already have like a pretty strong backing by people running tournaments already.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, people are already looking for it. So, yeah, super excited about that. Take a look if you haven't yet, and we'll talk more about that. I want to talk about Wave 3. Today, Tuesday, March date. What's today's date? The 12th?
It's the 12th.
FFG put on a live stream at 1 p.m. Central. Very convenient time for a lot of people. That's sarcasm. I was in the middle of class. I only was able to take a peek, like, in between two of my classes.
I saw you posted those Skippy emojis.
Yeah, I was like, I want to be here, guys. Ducking out here. Yeah, so they played a single game. It seemed from just kind of doing a quick review, they played a single game with a couple squads, and I want to say thank you to one of our Gold Squadron moderators, Steven Downs, for taking a bunch of really good notes. He shared them in the community already, so we're using his notes as a basis, as I didn't personally get to watch it. So thank you so much, Steven. And this is where I'll start. Marcel, did you get a chance to look over this information yet?
Which one? The cards that came out?
Just like the different rules and stuff like that from the Wave 3 stuff?
No, I didn't read the rules set. No, I did not.
Okay, no worries. Will, did you get a chance to look this stuff over?
I was watching the game, and I got about half hour into it, and they were just in the first system phase. So I was like, oh man, this is going to take a bit. So, no, I've looked over everything, but I wasn't able to watch the game.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So this is actually a perfect opportunity to start participating in our town hall. We'll go ahead and start with Ken of District Foundry. How you doing, Ken? Was he ready?
I'm doing good.
Oh, there he was ready. He was ready. How you doing, man?
Good.
All right, man. So what's something that FFG talked about with this Wave 3 stuff that maybe it's got you excited?
To be very frank, I was only able to watch the video like for a few minutes like yourself because I was out running errands.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I guess gas clouds, that's kind of interesting, but there's just so much information coming out. I'm kind of overwhelmed and trying to keep on top of everything. So
No worries.
I'll go straight into gas clouds.
There you go. We got you, fam. We got you. We're gonna learn this stuff out together.
Yeah, because I didn't hear. So what is? What are the strain gas clouds? Action,
right.
no action.
All right. So
what's the deal?
Tommy, can you explain to us what does a gas cloud do?
Okay. Whenever you're trying to shoot through it, you'll get +1 agility and basically get old school auto throws to get to a blank grenade. Already been discussed beforehand in one of the articles.
Mm-hmm. But it doesn't give you any
Now,
strain.
the other part is what they implied. The other part of that we found out today, from what I understood, is that just when you fly through it, you get no actions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so no action, but there's no additional effects. I know we were kind of suspecting that you might gain a strain token when you go through it, but that's not the case. It's just...
At least from what they said, yeah. I kind of hope there is another effect, because otherwise it seems like especially won't even care about going through those.
Yeah.
Right, there's no downside.
It's like the Jedi Interceptors can go through that and still get a repositional ability off.
Yeah.
Now, full throttle still works. They just go through it, and because they complete the maneuver, they still get to trigger that ability. And there's another effect that they just forgot was in there, because they had some other issues during the game too. So I'll do something else.
There could be more. Anybody else here has something that has got them excited? You can go ahead and jump in. Don't be shy.
Well, I could say something else here. If we're talking about
Just anything from that game that you got. If not, I can take the wheel. It's fine.
Ahsoka, I was kind of dismissing her ability until I thought about it more. Effectively, she has pushed the limit every turn. Oh.
Yeah, so
it's pretty crazy.
For those of you who haven't seen, Ahsoka's ability, which has been revealed now, is after you fully execute a maneuver, you may choose a friendly ship at range 0 to 1 and spend 1 force. That ship may perform an action even if it is stressed. So it's a little bit better than push the limit.
It's better than push the limit because it doesn't stress you and it lets you use it while stressed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so reposition, you just focus lock every time.
And you can coordinate as a potential as well.
Yes, battle meditation.
No, you don't need battle meditation on Hall. But you need to extend the range out beyond range 1.
I have no idea what battle meditation is.
Sorry, no worries.
No worries. We'll get back to that.
So we got like a list of things here that we can go through. So
yeah, battle meditation, in my view, is like you like it's going the wrong way, so you just like curl up in the fetal position, and you're like, please don't see me, and like everything is like you just meditating, like don't see me, I am not the ship you're looking for.
Alrighty, so here are some of the spoilers that they did, like taking the video apart. Here are some of the important pieces of information that we got. Some things about vulture droids. Alex Davies said they are the cheapest ship in the game. So right now, right now, right now, the cheapest ship that we know its points of is an Academy TIE Fighter, right? 23 points. Is that correct?
They're lying. No. You have the
Is there something?
drone pilot at 12,
Autopilot.
and you have the little the little Z95 scum thing at 6.
That's guys. They're 2 points. No, so
I'm
they're probably thinking about. Let's be
A
honest,
ship
like
that lasts more than 3 turns.
Right, a real.
Well,
ship.
the 6-point ship can last the entire match if you don't kill it.
You can't. Anyways,
Come on, Marcel.
I'm just saying,
just troll.
alternative facts here, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So, all right. So here, I'll amend this statement. The Vulture droid is the cheapest ship outside of the drone for the what is it? The customized 1300 or the Houndstooth attachable Z95. Besides those, the other thing that we found out is that the grappling struts for the Vulture droids actually have a cost. So it's not an auto include like, for instance, the S-foils for the X-Wings. It's a decision that you have to make. And Alex Davey, when he was talking about his list building decision, he actually said, he's like, it's not an auto include. I chose to take them out so that I could actually fit another ship. So that's kind of telling me, it's not 1 point. I'm thinking these things are 2 to 3. Most likely, and honestly, I'm okay with that, with really how powerful the ability on those grappling struts could be.
So are you thinking it's probably along the lines of like a TIE Fighter or Z95 where it's a 23-point ship with the strut or a 20-point ship without? And you're saying, like, if you're going to put the strut on it, now it's the same as all the other low-cost ships. You take it off, now you've got a 20-point ship.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
yes.
Yeah.
Similar to the mining guild tie, where it trades some things to fly through rocks, but it still is at that 23 to 24 point cost.
There you go. So of course, we'll see. We know nothing. That's the great line that all podcasters have to say now. Like, until we find out points, XYZ. I mean, that's, of course, we know nothing.
I think they... I don't know if you... No, it doesn't look like it. From the small bit that I watched, the third guy, Mark, maybe? I don't know. I'm terrible with names. But they had said that paraphrasing, that the points would be out on release day.
On release day. Okay.
So we're still going to have to wait till Thursday for that.
That's all right.
So no early.
That's a little too bad.
I think the coolest thing that was confirmed in the video, though, is that the wings on the infiltrator fold.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah. So if you weren't able to hear Ken there, he said that the wings on the infiltrator can fold. So articulating models are always awesome. So that's super sweet. Continuing on here on our list, the probe droids. They confirmed that they can be attacked. We were pretty sure, as they did have a hull value and agility. And attacks against them can be obstructed. So they're treated like any type of ship. If you're shooting those probe droids, all the rules for shooting a ship are going to apply for them. Tommy talked about the gas clouds already. You only lose your action, at least from what they could remember. There was several times during the stream you saw them go, wait, let's do a couple things here. And you should all know, as X-Wing players, there's so many things going on. People forget things. And they're already working on wave 5 or 6, right? So this is...
And they're like 6 months in advance of us.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised. It seemed like Max was more on top of his stuff than Alex. But also Alex works on Destiny too. I mean, not on Destiny, on Legion. So makes sense. They also confirmed that blue maneuvers will remove stress and strain. That's one thing that they were talking about, that you would, when you do a blue, you can remove one of each, which is kind of crazy, but makes sense.
Should be fine.
Yeah. And then buzz droids. Buzz droids was a thing that a lot of people were speculating, were wondering, like, how does this going to work? And we learned that. Hi, honey. What's that? I got something in the mail. Uh-oh.
Special delivery.
Special delivery. It's like Blue's Clues.
No, it's like
This is literally like Blue's Clues.
with the mailman would show up.
No, how does the song go? Like something like that. Na 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 mail.
Oh yeah, we got mail.
Yeah. Totally Blue's Clues. Yeah.
I'm really confused.
Wait till she gets a little older and you start watching those PBS and other kind of shows.
I'm really confused. I just received.
Yeah, sing it. Come on, Dylan.
I just
Sing it.
received Gold Squadron podcast templates back, but they're not in the box that I sent them in.
It's Dion. The song goes, "Here's the mail, it never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to wail. Mail!"
That was perfect.
That was fantastic. Yeah. So mail call is something. I'm not sure. Whatever. We'll worry about that later. Talking about buzz droids, you can. We confirmed that you can fly away from buzz droids. The biggest takeaway here is that the buzz droids don't actually attach. Like, they attach to you if you roll over, if you fly over them. Okay, they can attach to you, but you can fly away from them. So, the only way that they move anywhere is every time they're overlapped, they reattach to a ship either on the front or the back. But you can barrel roll them. You can barrel away from them. You can boost away from them. It's fine.
So the question I have about that is, did they specify whether it always reattaches to the front first, and if front doesn't go to the back, who makes that choice?
The person who owns the buzz droids, similar to the way Jam works, right?
Okay, so if they're in your front arc, if they're attached to the front, and you move and you bump an enemy ship, or you bump another one of your own ships during that maneuver, does it then transfer to the ship?
You can choose to relocate it to the back after they finish executing that maneuver.
Correct.
But it doesn't. But it doesn't transfer to the other ship.
You could choose front, and then it would transfer to that ship that they ran into, if that's more advantageous for you.
I'm not sure if that's the case, because the ship that moved was the one who went over it. It was in the front peg, so then it would have to go on that back ship.
Correct. And again, there's going to be some details in there we don't know. We just know that you have the ability. Like, they don't follow you permanently. If they don't have to follow you permanently, there's ways to work around it besides just shooting it. So that's all. That's what I wanted to cover. There's a lot of nitty gritty there. We're not going to worry about it yet.
I wish we had some type of supplemental rules and regulations to deal with this kind of
Yeah, my only critique is, come on, Illuminati, you don't got Wave 3 rules out yet? Jeez.
Let's go. Wave 3, guys.
Come on.
What are you doing?
Thursday, I'm ready to get points and rules. Come on, Illuminati.
Continuing here, we know that the Belabub and the Sith Infiltrator both have the tactical relay slot because they were using the tactical relay slot. Ahsoka Tano, and they did say that they were actually using two 200-point squads. So I was curious at first if they were going to end up using like quick build squads, but they were actually building with the squad points, which is good to know. And the card I really want to talk about, because I find it probably the most interesting new thing that got spoiled, was Commander Cody. Commander Cody says, after you perform an attack that missed, if one or more hit or crit results were neutralized, the defender gains 1 strain token. That seems really good. Like, do damage or make it easier to do damage to people?
Yeah, if was this on the arc? I assume.
Yes,
because it's a Geno slot. So yeah.
Okay, that's still pretty good. To shoot as like your highest initiative to start strip, like your token stripper that you'd be shooting anyways. Could potentially reduce your agility if it doesn't strip tokens. That's pretty good.
Now, is this faction specific? I can't.
It's going to be Galactic Republic only.
Okay.
Sad, I know. Don't be sad.
I know. I wanted it on like you put it on a shuttle or something like that, and then you get a bunch of TIE fighters to shoot at a low agility ship.
You want to move into the Empire.
Once you do defend, that strain token is removed, so that reduced agility does only work on the next attack, even if that attack misses.
Yeah, good point.
So really kind of what I think
still a good
best case scenario is if you're trying to really play off Cody, you have 2 ships of the same initiative. That way, you know, you try to stick that first shot with Cody. If you don't get it through, but you roll the hit, you're able to trigger this. You have that strain, and you have that flexibility to be like, okay, whoever has, multiple ships of the same initiative, whoever has like a double modifier, this is your best chance to do a significant amount of damage. That way you make that strain count.
Yeah, I'm going to take it like one step further and actually open it up for the town hall here for somebody to jump in on it. But I think personally that one of the when you get into like competitive play, like high level competitively play, system opens or things like that and above, one of the best things you can do to your opponent is put them in a position where they have to make a bad choice. They can choose from bad choice A or bad choice B. And if you use Cody and you shoot and let's say you get 2 hits and they roll an evade in the focus or 2 eyeballs, and then somebody else is going to shoot right after them. Now you put them in a situation where they have to make a choice. Do I evade this one, but then I'm going to get shot again at low agility, and I don't know what my results are going to be? Or do I spend my focus now to avoid this, but now I'm going to get shot without some type of token? And the reason I'm talking about this, that it's when you give people a bad choice is such a good thing, is because now you're starting to get into their head, and now they're thinking about choices, that kind of choice instead of like mental fatigue, Oh yeah. Like it's a play an hour 15 match game. It takes something out of you, and you have to make that kind of choice like all the time. Like, oh, do I want to do this or do I want to do that after every shot? That wears on you. Towards the end of the game, the opponent's going to be like, I'm done. And it really does happen. Sorry, Peter. It's a right turn, not a left turn. It really does happen.
Oh, Peter!
Yeah, he beat me twice. So he was my only loss in Toronto, so I'm allowed to.
You got in his head, Marcel. He got him out.
Oh yeah, I wore him out. So Kalen, you owe me a win.
There you go. A win, a plane ticket across the country. Oh man, that is good. That is good. All right. So go ahead.
Yeah, so I think Cody could be especially powerful if they have any option to also take that with the hotshot gunner, because then that would be a double bad choice, as Marcel says.
Wasn't Commander Cody a gunner though? Isn't he the gunner, not crew?
And hotshot, they don't have any mobile droids yet either.
Yeah, but
no,
but I mean,
I see the synergy though.
The synergy though, like if anybody ends up getting a double gunner slot, or by the way, that was Redfish. Redfish, you must say who's talking, man. Get your opportunity out there. Redfish, thank you so much for that comment. Yeah, or I mean, even the idea of having a ship with Commander Cody and another one with Hotshot, it's all the bad things. It's like, all right, who do you go after first? Right? If you have to make that decision, and Marcel already touched on the fact of giving your opponent more decisions, making him have the hard decisions, it's going to be a bad day. It's going to be a bad day. So, go ahead.
Keep interrupting now. Another thing to think about is like what Commando Cody, thinking of giving them Wedge's ability on top of it for that next ship that's attacking as well. Let me hit you, will this other guy become Wedge on top of their other ability for the next attack?
Wedge!
There you go.
Do you mind if I jump in for a sec?
No, go, Samuel. Do it, man. This is the town hall.
Town hall.
So I had an idea. you have Oddball. He's the Initiative 5 pilot for the Republic. He has the ability where if he does a red maneuver or a red action, he gets a free target lock if he's in bullseye. Put Oddball on him as a gunner and Palp in the back seat. This is all points willing. And have him Palp face up so he can deal stress and deal strain at the end of a turn. And if he doesn't deal any damage, if you have synchronized console, he could pass that lock he already got to a friendly ship. So he's like a super support. So he did like 3 different support actions.
I like that. That seems really good.
Yeah.
And like points willing, but
Samuel.
yeah.
Come on, man. We're supposed to improve player experience here. Come on, now you're going to have a lot of angry players. And we're like, well, like, what? How come my ship can't do anything but get shot and killed? And we're going to say because Samuel said so.
Well, stress, strain, free target locks. Well, I think in the notes it said, Alex Davies said stress and strain are removed with a blue maneuver, though.
Yeah.
At the same time, but still, I feel like that could be pretty good.
No, it definitely will, actually. And I like that idea of like missing the shot on purpose and give both, even if you do that at the top of the, at the top of the order, not only at the end of the order.
Yeah, and then you have maybe a couple low initiative torrents to one gets a free lock.
Yeah, that's a really cool combination.
All right, we'll find out, right? Points willing, like you said. Now, before we jump off this topic, is there anybody else here in the town hall that wants to say anything about the Wave 3? Anything? It doesn't necessarily have to be about what was on stream today. Just something maybe that's got you excited, or just a comment about it. You like it? You don't? This is your chance, or forever hold your peace.
Hello there, everyone.
Burning Stick.
I haven't been on here since last May. No, Wave 3 is the same reason why I was excited about 2.0. So much is being changed how we play this game. That makes the game so much better to play. It's not just the same thing we're used to. It's going to be great.
I love it.
Now, when I'm going to fly, I'm broke. So I guess I stick with Empire. It's so sad. I'm like, I have 2 months before my system opened.
It's a real problem. You know what, though?
It is.
Listen, I know one thing we're going to be doing as Gold Squadron is we're going to start giving out more like expansions and stuff like that during live streams, because we know people are like, man, I really want to expand. But like, you know what? Here, I'm going to get you. I'm going to give you your first hit.
That ain't no joke. That really ain't no joke. I walked into a league night on Wednesday, and with a 15-20% discount that they offer for early buys, I still dropped like $250 on like what?
How do you do that?
How do I do, like not with a smile, with a tear? Like what?
Then the person that walked out of my local game store on 2.0 release night with 2 Imperial conversion kits. So help. No, actually for that I sold enough ships I could buy another one. So I was like, okay, that worked.
And it also makes it tough when there's a lot of us who are buying for 2 or 3. Like me and my son, when we play, it's just I have to have at least 2 or 3 conversion kits. I have to have 2 or 3 ships. So this is going to be a big hit, but it's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I will add one more thing to that, because I mean, while in all seriousness, of course, it hurts the wallet on all of us, and I also buy, with the hopeful too. Let's just put it that way. Still playing, but the other things that you have to consider is just even if you don't get to buy them yourself that early on, we're still going to get to play against all these mechanics as well. So they're adding the new mechanics, they're adding the new opponents, and think about it from a perspective of like if you're doing an MMO like Path of Exile or like World of Warcraft or the Star Wars one. it's like getting a new raid or a new boss or a new opponent. So even if we're not flying it, somebody else is going to be flying it, and it's like a new mountain to climb. So I'm excited about it. Even if I don't fly the Republic or the Separatists, I'm still going to be playing against them, and it's a new mountain to climb, and it's a new mechanic, and yeah, I'm definitely not going to be taking anything without a barrel roll now, obviously. So awesome, yeah.
I love that point. That is a fantastic point, Marcel. And yes, Ross, always do a barrel roll every time, especially at the beginning of videos. It's really entertaining. Anybody else before we move on to our next topic?
Dion, this is Chillin' Guy. Two things I'm excited for. One is how high can Obi-Wan get on the pegs to have the high ground?
No. I think I have the answer. I have to dig through my photos. Someone did that with a Alpha Star Wing in 1.0 near the end. I have to find this photo. I think it was on OCX. Okay.
It will be amazing. The other thing, isn't the Z95 also being released for Wave 3?
Scum version.
So
which is weird.
Another thing for hyperspace. Yeah.
It's currently not hyperspace legal, but when they update the points, it might be.
That's right. I mean, it should be, right? Because the hyperspace, the idea is that there are things that are available for people to fly who are brand new to second edition. So it should be, at least for Scum.
No, it should be, but is it based on the document or is it based on release schedule?
It's based on the points document.
Yeah, so it might.
Dreams.
And more.
Well, I mean, they're gonna update the points document, which will have the new items in it anyway. So we'll see.
We'll need a cheap fill and Scum does not need 3 different versions of cheap fill. That's the only thing I'm annoyed about. Which this.
Yeah, but one can fly on rocks, and one can coordinate, and one can hold missiles. Totally different.
And they're all the same cost. Seems good.
Sounds good.
Sounds good in theory. I'll just check the proton bomb on the stick. That's why I call the autopilot drone.
Proton bomb on a stick. Love it. All right, so for our next topic here, we're going to talk about this being episode 100. I figure it'd be a good opportunity to open it up to the people who are passionate about listening and participating with Gold Squadron, and just talk about like how did you come across Gold Squadron podcast, and like how did you get here? Essentially is the question. We'll go ahead and start with, I guess I don't know who has a mic here, so I'm just going to say some names. We'll start with Peck614.
Hey, this is Michael from Dubuque, Iowa. We've met Will a few times.
Yeah.
I'll be running the CAC in Dubuque this year.
Awesome, man. Thank you for doing that.
So I found you guys after I started playing. I kind of searched for everything out there, and I found the stuff from Sling Paint and watched a bunch of their videos, and then I found the podcast, and I needed something to listen to during the day, and just kind of attached on to your. Been creeping in the corner ever since.
Well, Michael, when's CAC again? Remind everybody. That's super important.
I haven't posted it on your website for the Facebook page. It's May 18th. We're having one in Dubuque, Iowa. It's only like 3.5-4 hours away from Chicago. You guys can come over here if you want.
Yeah, could we have 2? Wait, what's the new date? Say it again.
It's May 18th.
Oh, I might actually be able to make it. Hold on, because the other one, it was on my wife's birthday. And that's why I couldn't do it, and then they moved it.
You guys normally go to South Bend. Are they still holding one?
Yeah. No, May 18th. Can't do it. I have a school field trip that day.
Oh, it sounds like a field trip to the Campaign for Cancer.
Sounds like a good field trip to me.
All right, so we'll keep moving down the line here. Redfish.
Hey, everybody. I heard about you guys through a friend. He showed me a stream one day and started watching those pretty religiously. And now I'm listening to the podcast every week. Became became a patron not that long ago, and I've been just kind of glued to your channel, especially ever since 2.0 released.
Well, welcome. Hello there. Thanks for watching, man. Ross.
That was a kind of creepy hello there.
You know that it was a quote from the Clone Wars. Okay, leave me alone.
I'm just saying you're gonna scare him away.
No. He knows. He knew what I was doing. I hope. Ross, go ahead, man.
Well, it's kind of funny because I'm kind of the same boat as Peck 614. Is that at first I started with my son. We just kind of came across it by chance, just the game itself. And then we started watching. I found some stuff with Sling Pain and really enjoyed watching them quite a bit. But when they kind of fell off, it was kind of this void for me with getting any type of X-Wing content. And a good friend of mine who was playing with my son and I, he had some target locks from you guys. He's like, yeah, I got these from Gold Squadron. I'm like, okay, well, let's see what Gold Squadron's all about. And then as I started watching your stuff, and listening to your cast, it's like, wow, these guys really kind of have something going here. And what can I do to help further this along? And so, join Patreon, and it's been great. I mean, as far as listening to you guys, listening to the cast, and then also being able to help when I can, running into you at the System Open in Phoenix, that was pretty awesome. And I'm just becoming this little fanboy. So, thanks for letting me hang out.
No problem. And I want to tell you guys, spoilers, slight spoilers. I won't give it all away, Ross. Ross is actually going to be helping us out with something else that's coming soon. Okay, and that's all I'll say. And I'm really excited for it. Ross came to me with an idea, and I was like, huh, let's do that. So super pumped about that.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find out if anybody's in Missoula. Anybody in Missoula? Let me know.
It's a weird. It's a kind of strange
is that right next to the medulla oblongata?
I think so. Something's wrong with your medulla oblongata.
We're biology. Okay. Anyway, burning stick.
Hello, everybody. How are you? I've been
wonderful
playing X-Wing for almost 3 years now, and I needed content to be able to learn how to play this game. And I found Gold Squadron. And I was like, I can get acrylic for giving money, and it's unique. How could I say no? Because acrylic is really nice.
Shiny.
No, it's just nice to have a channel that's... I love it when I'm able to just watch games when I'm either on break at work or just anytime. It's educational. I don't know if people would be able to learn the game as well as they do otherwise.
Yeah, and that's a great point. I don't want to interject too much because I don't want to take away anybody's talking points. But even in games where things go terribly wrong, right? Because there's been plenty of our games where like, oh, this person made this mistake, and some people get a little bit out of shape sometimes. But listen, if people don't make those mistakes, sometimes you wouldn't have realized that mistake is possible.
Exactly.
Right? Like it's all every experience is a learning experience. That's definitely the teacher side of me coming out. It's like, hey, even when things go bad, what can we learn from it? Because there's definitely something that we can learn.
Oh yeah, and they do point them out. I remember the game from like a month ago. Nate Moore and me, we had a rough one. Oh yeah, you see, we had a rough one, and did I hear about it? Even when I went to Toronto, I'm like, you know what? I saw this list because I put the same list in Toronto, and like I saw this list, like it was awesome against Dion, but boy, did you really play a rough one with Nate. I'm like, thanks.
I'm sorry. I saw that. That was
rough.
Well, you learned.
But other people learn from my mistakes and his mistakes. So
yep,
you're welcome.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was pretty great. Nate was like, wait, what? Lulo does what? I remember standing there going like, oh, I'm excited to see the YouTube comments on this one.
Can imagine it would be good.
Yep. All right, thank you for that.
I had tried to message him to catch a mistake before.
Yep.
That match is like, too late. He didn't see my message until too late.
Oh, no.
Yep, love it. Chilling guy, you have the floor.
you. So mine's kind of similar to with Ross. We're just poking around, listening to some other podcasts, and they eventually kind of twittered off. But really, William's a big reason why I've actually started to play X-Wings. When I just bought the core set, I was just looking stuff online, and I saw him playing the Hoth final in 2017. I think it was against Jeremy with his Miranda build. And that just really piqued my interest to want to get into X-Wings and to really dive in. So my wife thanks you for giving me this hobby that's now taken me away from her. So you're welcome, William. But I did see you guys at Crate Cup. I was too nervous to say hi, so I saw this opportunity. I was like, hey, might as well. Thank you guys for the content you provide, and William for helping me to want to play and ruining me because I only wanted to do bombs because he did so well with the bombs. So for like 8-9 months, I had to finally get out of my system. Like, okay, I can't do bombs all the time. So, William, I thank you and curse you for ruining my list building.
No, it's okay. Trust me, if you there's a couple husbands, X-Wing players out there who definitely got a mistress in X-Wing.
I wouldn't know any. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Oh, come on. You're the worst offenders. Come on now. Thank you, though, man. I appreciate it very much.
Welcome. I didn't want to be a creeper at Crate.
Oh, no.
So I kept to myself.
That's right.
I just stared from a distance.
I want to make a point of this. Do you agree with me or disagree with me after I'm done? I'll allow you to.
Go for it. I'll allow it.
I know, it started going crazy. I just let it happen. But anybody, if you see anybody wearing a Gold Squadron t-shirt, walk up to them and say hello. No one's going to care.
Oh, yeah.
We welcome it. Please do it. And if it's someone just wearing a Gold Squadron shirt by mistake, that's funny, and you should still do it.
Like, are you part of Golden? No, I just have the shirt. Like, well, you know what? You got a cool shirt. All right.
Exactly.
And if it is us, just say what's up. We're just people. We love the game. I promise that we'll be nice.
Yeah, we don't travel to events to talk to people we know. We're out there trying to make friends, meet new people.
Absolutely. John Ben Young. Oh, does he not have a mic on? John, you were the chosen one.
You know, John, why don't you type it and I will read it out for you in a very...
Only if you pretend to use his voice.
I don't know if I can do that.
John.
I remember his voice. His voice is kind of normal.
I know
kind of normal.
Well, it's kind of normal because it's young.
He's young.
But once the first time I ever heard John Ben Young's voice was when me and Will were playing a Vassal game. And, we had, because we had me and Will, so we had 8-9 people watching the game. Yep. And we were talking on one of the channels here, and Will went crazy with his.
Oh yeah, I had been drinking and forgot that.
And then John was like, "You have a child here."
He didn't sound that young.
He didn't sound that young, but yeah, he let him know hey, you got a kid here, keep the language down.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's not here now, though. So.
It's all right. We'll pass the mic here. We'll pass the mic to Juice.
It's bedtime, but you told him to hang on, so he's hanging on.
Oh, he's typing. Juice Cup.
Yeah, so I started playing when a buddy of mine got me the core set for Christmas, and I was super hooked. So I was scavenging the Google Play Store for any podcast I could get my hands on. And I think just at the time, you guys had the fastest pace of episode delivery, so I gravitated to you more than the others.
Thank you. Well, we try to do it weekly. Now we didn't used to. If we had, we'd be past 100 significantly. But yeah, probably for the last. Marcel, how long have we been doing a weekly episodes?
I I don't know, probably a few months. No, more than a few months. Like 5 or 6 months.
No,
But
it's been
who said that?
At least a year since.
Who said that on the? Whose comment was that?
That was Juice Cup.
Juice Cup. I curse you, Juice Cup. You're gonna give him ideas, and now he's gonna say like we have a weekly podcast. So no,
I'm not sorry. I give you money.
I give you money. I want bi-weekly podcast 2 times a week. Let's go.
Oh, well, me and Dion have a weekly podcast. I don't know about you, Marcel.
Shots fired. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get good again. Okay.
No worries, man. I'm just bullshit.
You know what? Get your world's ticket, and then we talk.
Oh, okay, jeez. All right. Well, hold on. I'll do it as soon as I can. Jeez.
All right. We're gonna pass the mic here. Gideon Wolf, how you doing, man? Maybe he's just hanging out listening. Did I catch him off guard? I may have. We'll come back to you, Gideon.
I'm back.
Hey, there he is. There he is. Gideon.
I was trying to get my settings going.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
There he is.
I'm taking care of a sick wife. She's in bed. So I thought I'd come back in here.
Real quick, Gideon, do me a favor. Lower your volume because it's cycling through your mic.
She's in bed. So I thought I'd back in here.
It's still pretty loud. Do this for me. You can go ahead, just mute your outboard audio, and then tell us about your experience with Gold Squadron.
Right on.
It's still pretty loud.
Hello.
His turn to talk.
Okay.
Oh.
And well, I love you.
He must have misunderstood what I said. Gideon, what I meant was just mute not your microphone, but your listening volume, and then tell us, and then you can mute your mic and then unmute your audio. We'll get back to you, buddy. All right, Ken.
Yo.
How'd you hear about Gold Squadron? What's your affiliation? Who are you?
So my name's Ken. I'm in Denver. I run a company called District Foundry. I've been playing the game pretty much since it came out, and I think the first time I crossed paths with Gold Squadron. Your first stream was Worlds 2016, correct?
Yep, that was the first one.
So that's the only Worlds I've been to so far. And I remember that because the Cubs had just won the World Series. I grew up in the Chicago suburbs, and so showed up to Worlds. I think you were set up streaming along with FFG. So I thought that was a little peculiar that there were 2 streams going on. And once I went home, you just started becoming more prevalent. You're just like broadcasting all the major events. I think we talked about this at Phoenix a bit. You know, you pretty much are on my TV on the weekend. I cut the cord on cable like 6 years ago, so I need content still. And yeah, ever since Gold Squadron has been up there in front and center. And, I've started this company last fall, which has taken off. So I'm really proud to be a sponsor of your stream now. I feel like I've sort of made it now that I've done that. And yeah, here we are.
Well, first I want to say thank you so much for being a sponsor and for being, having the conviction to be like, hey, I really like the content and wanting to partner. It's huge. And thanks for, like you said, it started in 2016. If you go back on our YouTube page, all right, I did it today, and I went as far back as it let me. The very first video that we have on our YouTube page is one game. There's only one game from that world where the video file didn't get corrupted because I didn't know what I was doing.
Oh man.
Only one. And it's Marcel versus Paul Heaver. Okay.
Nice.
So I wonder who won that one.
You have to go find out.
I thought it was interesting that for someone to go to Worlds, I don't even know if you had a real ticket or whatever, but to go to Worlds and not play and put yourself out there to broadcast this for the community. That's like a lot of heart. Like everyone wants to go to Worlds, especially this year. Now you got to get the invite, but to like go and to not play and do stuff so other people can enjoy it, that's huge. And I think sometime early last year or late the year before, that's when I became a patron, when I found myself watching pretty much almost every weekend you had a video stream. It's like, I need to be paying for this like it's my cable, because it is. And yeah, so just that fact that you showed up to Worlds, did not play, streamed, you only got one useful video out of it, that's huge.
Well, thanks. It was a decision we made, or I made, I guess, and it was hilarious. Yeah, I was talking. If I want you to do a comparison, go back. Just open up that video, and watch our our latest stream, and do like a side by side. It's pretty hilarious. The difference. John, you're up, buddy. John Benya.
Bueller.
Do it.
He said that his mic was ready to go, but it's battery operated.
He's typing in chat right now.
He's typing in chat, so jump over to Gordon. I see Gordon up there.
Gordon? Who's Gordon? Is he just creeping listening? His mic wasn't plugged in. Gordon is the worst. That's a meme, by the way, guys. He's not actually the worst. He's actually like super nice, one of the nicest people I know. At least named Gordon. Anyway, and then Kavan. Kavan, I think, is the last person on our list. Huh?
Yeah, Lucas. Hi.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. I'm actually from Europe, from Poland. So we in Poland have a quite big community listening to you guys. You're doing a great job. Thanks for it. So I'm actually here because I heard about you on Minox.
Okay.
2 years ago already when I was actually starting playing, logging online. So Minox was, and Back to Dash was the first podcast that I found. And they mentioned you somehow in the beef section, and then I started to listen. I'm a patron since, I don't know, already some time. We're doing a great job here.
All right, well, thank you so much. I'm going to be in Poland. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. We've been chatting about it.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Via Facebook, so we see each other for sure.
All right, I'm super pumped. Super
excited. I think I remember that Back to Dallas beef.
Yep.
Yeah.
Should be a good time. Did we get it? And Ramya, last one for this question here. How'd you hear about Gold Squadron podcast? Ramya. Nope, not today. Panic. It's funny because people don't know when I'm going to call on them. So it's like they weren't ready. Maybe they walked away from the computer. That's all right, though. Let's move on to our next topic. So everybody has experienced X-Wing, of course, through their own lens. We've had all different experiences, but we all know that we love this game. That's why we listen to podcasts. That's why we watch YouTube videos and watch streams, and why we're willing to, invest essentially our hard-earned money into plastic spaceships, cardboard, and time looking across the table from somebody and pushing spaceships across a giant mouse pad, essentially. My question for the town hall is, what was or is your favorite X-Wing moment? A specific moment that stands out to you in your X-Wing career. And it can be as small or as major as you want, but just something that's a special moment to you. Maybe we'll start with Gordon.
Is this on?
It is on.
Okay, good. I have no idea, dude. You know what it was? I'll tell you what it was. It was actually getting to be on the Stay on Target podcast as a guest.
There you go. Beautiful.
Winning a regional, it was then being asked to podcast thing, and I just found that all fascinating. I thought it was super cool.
Well, it's not like you're a strong personality or anything.
I will alpha male the crap out of anybody. Yeah, that is a problem. That is a bit of a character flaw. That is true.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Chillin' guy.
Well, other than creeping on Will at Crate Cup, I think just a lot of small moments, just really just playing with the local club, just how warm and welcoming the community is. Even though we give a lot of grief, but we give a lot of love too. So nothing specific stands out to me, but really just more of the camaraderie that people build and the sarcasm that goes along with it.
Absolutely love it. What about you, Ross?
Well, let's see here. It's actually my favorite X-Wing moment isn't really my moment, to be honest. It starts out with last year or the last regional in 1.0. My son was actually in the final match with a gentleman named Jesse Cho. He's a really, really good player here in the Houston area. And he won his first regional. And Brent Wong made one of the prizes for that thing, the 2.0 Corset. And so he won that, and we were super excited. And watching him go through the process of, going through his games and then having that final table, and like you with your worlds, I recorded it because I was going to put it on our YouTube channel and blow it out to the world. Yeah, my son, he's badass. I'm super excited. And it got corrupted. So yeah. I was very sad about that. But as far as that, I was so proud of him and the way that he held himself in the game, the way that he was a good sportsman. He did a great job. I was super proud. So that's my favorite X-Wing moment, as cheesy as it may be.
No worries. Redfish?
My favorite moment would have to be actually like my first competitive tournament was just a store championship. I made it to the final table, and after about 2.5 hours of flying my 5A wings, I finally lost to some robots. This was during the time of 4 Y-wings with TLTs and auto thrusters being rampant everywhere.
Awesome. Ramia, you got a mic yet? You're just listening in. Peck 614.
Yeah, I think my favorite moment so far is just a couple of weeks ago. I won the store tournament here in Dubuque. So that was my first win. So
yeah, that's a good one. That is a good feeling. You're like, oh my god, I won!
I can actually play this game sometimes. No.
Tommy,
I don't know if maybe it's my favorite, but it's the most with me. It was actually my first tournament win. The whole time I've ever been to a tournament, I took there's the old Tarnation list, 6 Z95s, my favorite ships. I won a tournament with those, and I had a great time there. I had a lot of other, that one I always seem to think back on. So
awesome. Come on.
So my favorite moment was System Open Nordics last year. I was flying my Wooden Fortress, which was Nora, Fan, and Lorik, and I struggled Christopher Bergson with his Ghost Fan. I said, come on, man, we know that this list is a joke. No one wants you to win. Be a gentleman, fly you Ghost of the Bird. Turn 5, I see, except he is next to the board, he is doing except turn 2 turn right that I expected, 2 turn left because he thought that it fit and it don't. And there's the scream, let's say the guys on stream go mad about it. I was even, let's say, we were contacted by D watching this because he went out to get some drinks and the match was over. That was one of my favorite moments. We had a great evening after this first day of the System Open when everybody was, let's say, saying, "Yeah, Christopher, you're a proper gentleman here." You do not want the people to watch this.
Fantastic. Ken. Oh. Hold on, Ken. Try again, Ken.
I can hear him.
All right, there he is. Go ahead.
It's you, DM. Yeah, no, it was getting to call the finals at Phoenix with you this couple of months ago. That was a lot of fun. Something I had never done before, and for you to hand me the mic was like kind of shocking. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Fantastic. Juice Cup?
Yeah. I'd have to say the first tournament I went to, I was super nervous, but I ended up placing second in a pretty fun format where you could mix up factions. So that was pretty cool. And I did it with a decimator, which made it even better.
Nice. And Gideon Wolf, you want to throw in something real quick?
Where you could mix up factions.
Can you hear me better now?
And I did it with a decimator, which made it even better.
Am I there?
Nice.
Am I not blowing your eardrums?
And Gideon Wolf, you want to throw in something real quick? Go for it.
What has been last year with my 8-year-old son getting to play in his first tournament, and he lost all 4, but they did a drawing and he won 2 big ships, a slave one and a jump master. So and he was really happy. And he lost.
That's awesome, man. It's always cool when, like, I'm excited for the moment where I get to do something like that with my daughter. She actually is really excited about Star Wars. She loves the ships and stuff like that. Then I jump back to my crew. What about you, Marcel?
Oh wait, no, I'm hearing like echoes. Was that me?
Yep.
Oh my god. The question is like, what's your favorite moment?
Favorite X-Wing moment.
There's just been so many, and I think you can go back. Like I remember so many of them, like Gen Con 2016. Obviously, I remember Sega was there. My son was there. You and Ron were there, and you guys looked just as happy as I did when I won. I got the pictures from it. Mm-hmm. Then again, like that match against Heaver, like I'm playing against the Heaver. But all of those things, and even afterwards, one of the things that stands out since Gordon's on the listening right now, one of the things that stuck with me the most throughout the time is after I went to the regional that Frenchie won. And I flew the TIE SFs, Ohio, and I flew the TIE SFs before I flew the TIE SFs like in a weird way without the thing that gave him extra agility. And you guys said, I love the way Marcel thinks because he just does like his own thing. That stuck with me. But out of all of those, I think the thing that stands out with me more than anything else is Worlds. Was it 2016 or 2017? But the Worlds that we had, that Alex Davey and the develop, we rented the Airbnb house, and we had like the first Worlds like round robin podcast
where Ricky was hosting. That was 2016.
Yep.
Yeah, and we had like all the podcasts there, and we had the developer the developers there, Frank and Alex, and we had we rented a house and we had like 30-40 people there. So just that whole community aspect of it. So again, it's not really the games or anything else. It's just like that whole community element of that specific night where it was just like a huge party and a huge celebration, and nobody cared who won, who lost. It was just everybody was having a good time. So that one for me was the one.
I'm going to jump back here. I think John's ready to go. Go ahead, John.
Bueller.
He's upset in the chat. Oh, man. He has a Bluetooth headset, and it is just not cooperating with him. All right, John, if you figure it out in the next He has a timer on his internet, essentially, so his internet will just go out. So just jump in at some point, John, if you get it figured out. Will, what about you, buddy?
Oh man, I'm trying to think of the biggest party that we had. It might actually be the Goldies, to be honest with you.
Goldies are pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there was a bigger party than that. Like, because we always like go out and stuff after each event or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Try to get some people together. Going to what was it? Ale House. We were hitting up the Ale House a couple nights in a row down Carolina. But yeah, I think the Goldies was like the biggest like official party that we had. Like all the just a room full of people that I knew, or I was like heard their voice, or like knew them from some weird pseudonym online. And then everybody who I didn't know, I just instantly met within like 5 minutes. I was like, oh yeah, oh I saw you playing, or oh hey, we played earlier, kind of stuff. And that that kind of like camaraderie I haven't gotten since I used to play roller derby, men's roller derby. I played against women sometimes, but
besides the
point. That was one of the things that kept me in the sport, kept me in the community.
I think John
Quick.
It works.
Okay.
Does it work?
Your chance before your internet shuts off. Go.
Okay, so which part are we on right now?
So it's what's your favorite X-Wing moment?
When I went to my first local game night, I'd been to one in St. George with my cousin who taught me how to play. And it was my first local one, and I was kind of scared, and I was with and of course, those of you that know me know I'm younger, so I was a little worried because I'm going to meet a bunch of 30, 40-year-old guys and go play X-Wing. Yeah, at a store. My mom was pretty nervous too. So I went and we played Epic, and my friend and I had to leave early, especially because we were playing Epic. And I was really confused what was going on because I'd never seen the bigger ships before.
Yeah.
And they'd all just bought theirs, so I was trying to figure out what was going on. But we fit in pretty well, and over the next few weeks, I came again and again. And we finally started playing regular games, and then I would consistently win those games. That made me pretty happy.
That's awesome, man. So when you told your parents, like, this is a thing I want to do consistently, like, what was their reaction?
Well, at first they liked X-Wing because like my cousins were playing it, whatever, and they enjoyed it. My age and younger cousins, and my parents were like, "Oh, that's pretty cool," and they were thinking this is a way to get you off of screens and whatever, so you're not spending as much time playing video games or whatever. And so they were pretty into it. They bought me the core set, and I bought everything else in my collection. But then all of a sudden, I got into listening to podcasts and playing in tournaments. And now they're like, "Can we limit you to just a little bit a week instead of everything you're doing?"
Sorry, Mom and Dad. Yeah. It's my fault. I did it. I did this to your son. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, so what I was going to say on how I got into Gold Squadron is actually pretty great. What happened was I was at my cousin's house around Christmas time, the year that I got into it, so 2 Christmases ago. And he was like, should we listen to a podcast while we're playing? And I was like, sure. And he was like, so which one do you want to listen to, Gold Squadron or Stay on Target? And I was like, let's listen to Stay on Target. So that was cool.
No!
I dissed you before I even
I
knew
really
it was up.
need you to stop the show right now, Dion. Nothing more needs to be said. We're good here. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
No, the
That's
story's
why
not
I needed
over.
Gordon to be on. Yeah, that's why I needed Gordon to be on at the time that I said that.
Love you. I love you. You can
Since
stop
then, I
now.
discovered
No. We're good.
Squadron.
Say that
Since
again,
then, I
John?
discovered Gold Squadron, and
Okay.
you actually have content regularly, like weekly, unlike Gordon, and so I can actually listen and participate more often. A
Got 'em.
patron of you guys instead of say Minoc or something else, because I found out about you first, and I feel like you do more for the community. So yeah.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Will, go ahead. You can finish your point, man. Sorry, I cut you off.
No worries. Like I said, I think it was the Goldies. Also, ruining first edition X-Wing for everybody by playing Loop and Chewie. We didn't even know that there was a whole other universe waiting for us just months away, and I was just unintentionally. I wasn't actually trying to ruin the game, but
It's pretty funny how closely related Gold Squadron was to that time.
yeah, because we're like this is getting pretty bad. Like we love this game, but this is getting pretty bad. So things like people were like raising their pitchforks and stuff if you just put down a Sheathipede, an attack shuttle, and a Lothal Ghost on the table. So luckily, none of that matters anymore. And and in hindsight, the rebellious were correct.
Absolutely. So before I give mine, I want to jump a little bit in our script here to something that's part of our closing before John goes away, because this is actually really important for John. So hopefully you're listening, buddy. So in all these things that's going on, I had a good friend of mine. He might be in the audience right now, maybe. Say, hey, that guy, that kid John, seems like he really likes Gold Squadron. He seems to be like really into it. I'm like, yeah, man. He's like on all the time. According to our statistics, which are tracked, he's like our top chatter. He talks in the chat the most type of input and participation in the thing. He goes, I got an idea for Dion. And I go, what? He goes, I want to do a campaign. And I go, what is it? And he goes, I want it to be #Trays for John. I'm like, #Trays for John. This is, by the way, Ken from District Foundry. He goes, yeah. He goes, I want you to make a challenge, Dion, and if the community can complete the challenge, I'm going to hook John up with a set of the District Foundry tournament trays. And I was like, wait, what? And he was like, yeah, I'm for real. So the challenge is here, community. Let's see if you can help John out. Alrighty, so let me go ahead and put this up here. So I have a sub goal. You can see it right here on the screen. Okay, the goal here.
What screen?
On my screen. Yeah, you guys can't see it right now, but the people out there can see it. I'll word
You're
it.
talking to us,
Listen,
but you're.
I have to pay attention to the video and the audio. I'm gonna get there. Okay. Patience. We have up until April 1st. No, this is not an April Fool's joke, okay? But up until April 1st to get 100 subs, okay? Subs, resubs, count 2, and that takes us through 2 hyperspace trials that I'm going to be streaming, plus Adepticon. If we can get 100 subs by then, John will get his set of templates. Excuse me, his set of... What?
I said, and then Chewbacca and what's his name? Sorry, forget. Come in and like does that automatically.
You know,
like they always do.
If they want to, that's fine. But I'm telling you that the challenge here is 100 by April 1st. Okay, we are at 5 already for tonight. Okay, because I started tracking at the beginning of the episode without telling you guys. Okay, so we're at 5 already, only 95 left to go, and this tracks even while we're offline. Okay, so it's constantly checking. It keeps a log of it all. So hashtag Trays for John. Good luck, buddy, and thank you so much for being a very active part of our community when we started doing these live podcasts. And I think it's pretty cool, man, that you do that. So thank you. I'll jump back here. As for my favorite moment is, honestly, it was the first time I went to League Night. The Dion Morales that you guys know is not the Dion Morales of the past. Since this is episode 100, where we're kind of spilling the beans, we're talking about we're getting a little deep here. Yeah, I was just a totally different person. You know, things were positive in my life at the time I started playing X-Wing, but this is gonna sound really cheesy, but I had like no friends essentially, and X-Wing got me my first, as an adult, friends, besides my wife, of course, right? Hashtag best friend, right? But to have that type of camaraderie with people was the first time that I had that, and it was fantastic. So, Gold Squadron, love you guys. Thank you so much for that. Okay.
Oh now, no, we're your mistress. Oh God. I'm just joking. All the love, man. All the love.
Wait, does that make me Dion's mistress?
Yeah, kind of, a little bit. I think we're all kind of Dion's mistress, is what you just said.
I love you all.
But I'm not sure how my mom feels about that.
Don't use those words. That's. I didn't put these words out
You're
there.
A teacher, Dion.
You did. I am. That's why I'm careful with how I say things. Okay, I have to be. Now I wanted to hit up the next topic here: the Skippy the Upgrade Card Contest.
Skippy.
Okay.
Okay, I'm awake now. What?
Skippy, our boy, right here, the official astromech of the Gold Squadron podcast. All right, I went through the submissions. I gave you my top 5. Okay. And I had been agonizing this over the week because the problem that I had with even the top 5 is I liked things from all of them. But there wasn't one that really stood out. So I kind of audibled here a little bit. Okay? And the audible is basically what I did is I took the 5 that were there and I took pieces from all 5 to create the final Skippy the Upgrade card, okay? And it works 2 ways, okay? If you're playing casual with a buddy who agrees to let you play it, you're going to be able to. But if you just want to have it in spirit, you can do that too. Works both ways. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read you the final Skippy. So congratulations, the 5 people who won. You are all the finalists. You all win, okay? And they're there in our notes. That's Ross, Jude Allen, Duke of Hobbies, Ops Mason Last, and John Ben Young. Those 5, they had there's a lot of great ideas here that I smashed together to make the final product here. And hopefully they recognize their work in the final one. So let me go ahead and pull it up here. Uh-oh. Where did it go? Oh, no. Oh, no, I typed it out. Where did it go? Did I put it in a different... Hold on. Will, Marcel, save me.
Okay, while you're doing that, I got time to fill.
All right, good. Actually, this is perfect time. Will, any closing words about episode 100, your experience, all the things? The floor is yours.
Oh, okay. Well, geez. I asked for a microphone and got handed a spotlight. But so yeah, I'm gonna say what was on my mind before I forget. So April 7th will be 3 years for Gold Squadron. In the last 2 years, since May 12th, 2017. That was episode 22. So not counting non-numbered episodes, because apparently there's episodes that weren't numbered, Dion.
Yeah.
Doing the math that I think is right, of 78 episodes and 104 weeks is actually averaging 0.75 episodes per week for the last 2 years. That's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
To intrude, but that's better than stay on target. So, Gordon, you better be listening to this.
Best thing is, it doesn't matter which show it is. Somehow, it's always about me.
Ah, you got us.
Spoken like a true alpha.
Yeah, but basically, I want to see that in this town hall, we almost have a bigger community that the listeners community on Stay on Target. Love those. We have more than 7. I think you're up to 7 now, Gordon. Am I right?
7 listeners? Yes, I'm very proud.
Love it. I'm literally stepping over to my other computer, everybody. That's why you don't see me.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of freaking out.
What was, sorry, what was the real question they asked me?
So, like, just... You know, we've gotten to episode 100. It's a huge milestone, right? Just like, I don't know, just closing words about your experience, your thoughts about what we've done. You coming into the show, all those things.
I'll tell you the.
Give me your origin story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't think we ever fully I think we did way back in like episode like 51 or something, 52 or something like that, a couple years ago. Actually, sorry, Dion, I actually didn't know who you were until I played you. And
there you go.
You handed me a card. Like, I had looked at videos and stuff, so I probably have seen like a video of something, but I didn't listen to any podcasts. I didn't consume internet content like that back in the day. But that Adepticon 2017 Adepticon was actually like my first like major tournament. I had gone to Pastimes Regionals the previous year in 2016, and that like blew my mind. So then I was like, well, let's ramp it up this year. Let's go to a bigger tournament and see how that goes. And then I remember it was the Gold Squadron Scarif, the horizontal Gold Squadron Scarif bombing down card. And that was the first, I think the first card I'd ever gone from like a podcast or like somebody else. And I was like blown away by that. I was like, well, people are making their own cards? So I was pretty fresh in the scene at that point in time, but like that really stuck with me throughout that whole tournament. I was like, man, things are looking up. I got a card, getting some wins. But then I was able to actually sit down and talk to you. I saw that you had the whole setup going, and just like, man, you're like bubbly energy. Just really radiated with me. That's not the right word, but I thought. Well, to be fair, I also had a great time playing against you as well. I forget how that went. Oh, that's right. We were flying the most broken stuff ever. Mind Links versus Advanced Slam Bomb.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a close game. It was fantastic.
It was a close game, but so yeah, that's how I met Dion playing. Man, it must have been like round 6 that day or something, because I think I had another round after that.
Yeah, we were. I think we were both X and 1 at that point. We were both X and 1.
Yeah. But then this is where it really gets wholesome. Like I like jokingly said, where I think it was you mentioned something to me about how your hope that one of the Gold Squadron guys got on to the top cut, and then I jokingly said, "Well, he gave me the card. Now I'm Gold Squadron."
Yep.
Not realizing that like it was an actual like show or whatever. I was just making a joke about it. But then actually the real wholesome. This is where I was like to be fair, I had never even like you said that. I was like, oh, that's funny, and like didn't even think about it until I posted that I needed to buy a plane ticket down to Orlando, like right away, and I needed some money borrowed. And one of the first person who commented about that was you, Dion. I was like, this dude who I met like weeks ago for like 1 day or 2 days or whatever is willing to like borrow me money. And I was like, wow, that's a super kind gesture. And then I ended up recording some interviews down there, which were probably terrible because I was doing it off of like, it wasn't I can't describe my phone because it wasn't, well, I guess I can. I'm going to try. But remember when phones had slide out keyboards? Like the whole phone would just slide in half and there'd be a keyboard all of a sudden.
Right.
That's what I recorded that episode on, was a keyboard phone like that. And then, yeah, after that, I really started paying attention to what you were doing, Dion, and like the superb effort that you're doing. You let me, what was it? Oh, I got a Worlds ticket randomly that year, and you let me stream one of the days, or I guess I offered to. And from then on, I was 100% Gold Squadron. If I wasn't on the podcast, I'd be a super fan as well. just because of all the, man, you're just doing the best, raising the bar, Dion.
Thanks, man.
Oh yeah, could you imagine what episode 200 is going to be? Could you imagine?
200. Oh man. Who knows? Marcel.
That's my name. What?
It's on you.
What do I got to do?
Like the comic relief, ladies and gentlemen.
Is that all I'm here for?
You're close.
I'm here to. So first you marry me for money, and now I'm just comic relief. So like really, I'm like Baby Groot. Is that what I am?
Bring
Baby
your
Groot?
Jar Jar list.
Yeah. Am I Jar Jar to you?
You're kind of Jar Jar. Yeah.
Can I take a spot real quick?
Go for it.
Wait. No. Is that Gordon?
Maybe.
No.
Gordon's just trying to be like, and now I'm on Gold Squad.
Hey, you're welcome to jump the fence anytime. So anyway, what are we talking about? And then I'll give it to Gordon.
Your closing statement. You're like, this is the 100th episode. This is my reminiscing moment. This is your moment.
That is my moment.
Don't throw away your shot.
Oh my God! But I kind of threw it away when I said what like my favorite X-Wing moment was. I talk about Adepticon. I talk about Worlds. I talk about the community. You know, I'll bring one more moment up as my closing statement. You know what was the best game I've ever played of X-Wing? It was the game that I lost. The game that I lost against Justin Fua, because I beat Justin Fua in the top 16, and then I lost to Justin again. And this is why I love this game, this community so much, because the most fun I've ever had is losing. And I think that should speak a lot. Is I've had more fun. I had the most fun in a losing game that I've ever had at any other time. So, and shout out to Justin. He should be out about again. And I'm also actually going to echo a little bit of what William was saying. It's just Dion. I mean, I know, I don't know. You know, you've got acquaintances, you've got people you know in life, you've got people you know at work, you've got people you know in the games that you go on, and then there's people that you consider like friends, like, you know, deep to the core, good people, friends, and above everything else, and most of the people know you for who you know who you are as who you are for Gold Squadron, but also just as a human being, as a friend, as a father, and as a husband. Yeah, you're pretty awesome. So I think I'll just leave it at that.
I'm going to correct you, Dion, or correct you, Marcel. He's pretty and awesome.
Ah,
I don't get it. I went over my head. Sorry, Gordon. You can talk now. And by the way, Gordon, I enjoyed coming from behind at the Indiana Grey Cup. No, it wasn't a Grey Cup. What was it?
Was it Hyperspace
Outrider?
Trial?
Outrider. Yeah.
It was Outrider. Yeah.
Outrider, okay.
Yeah. You had me. Man.
I was about to say, our match, you must not have had a good time since you beat me like a drum.
No, but you should have had that one. I mean, you had all the.
I'm just your proof. You're my witness that I'm not very good at this game.
You're good at life, though. So.
Oh, wow, you're not supposed to agree with me, you jerk. Okay.
Go ahead, take it. You wanted to say something?
Sure. If I could step out of character for a moment. In all seriousness, Dion, do you remember what you said to me when we first met? You're not supposed to really remember this, but I have to throw that out there. Looking for something because you had been at this less than a year, and Gold Squadron hadn't really become what it is now. Because you did start off as a podcast, right? The whole streaming thing kind of got born out of that.
Right.
Of what it could be, and you were super excited about it, but you weren't on the map like you are now. So I just want to say on behalf of the entire X-Wing community worldwide, thank you. It's amazing, and you are amazing.
Thanks, man.
Oh, Dion, the feels. Let me switch over to Twitch. I want to see you cry. Come on. Let out a tear. Come on.
Maybe in a minute. Okay. Well, my closing. I'll finish this off here. You guys are awesome. I had to take notes because yeah. I'm gonna jump. I'll address the stuff you guys said here in a minute. The campaigns thing, like I said, we got the hashtag Trace for John at 150 subs now to the Adepticon, and I actually saw somebody say this in the chat, and this is in my notes. And Will and Marcel is my witness. I did have this in there already. One of the other long-going jokes now for Gold Squadron is hashtag Chips for Tret. Now, I know Tret's been busy. He messaged me. He's like, man, I'm not going to be able to watch for a while. I'm busy. But listen, Tret, if you're out there, buddy, there's an extended goal in there. If we get to 150, I'm sending you chips, man. Like, a memeable amount of chips. And specifically Panera chips, because that's where this whole thing started, okay? Hashtag chips for Tret. We'll talk about that later. As for thank yous, I want to say thank you to everybody who has taken the time to listen to our podcast. You know, when this whole thing started, it was just something I wanted to do for fun. It seemed like it could be cool. I was really getting into X-Wing, and I was excited about it. And I look back, and I still see people, you know, jump back, and still people are still downloading episode 1, and it blows my mind. And I listened to it in preparation for this a couple days ago, and man, it's cringeworthy. It's bad. Please don't listen to episode 1. If you don't go back. You're like, oh, I ran out of podcast. Let me go back. Don't do it. It's not worth it. I can't tell you what to do. I think it's bad. But there were people who listened to that, and you know, we've gotten to this point where there's literally, you know, Gold Squadron is reaching thousands of people a week through podcasts. And I mean, if I take the podcast plus the videos, I mean, it's literally tens of thousands of people, which is ridiculous to me that so many people are being reached by something that I just started for fun. It's crazy. And I'll touch on why that is. So, for me, basically, up until right before I'm gonna drop some personal stuff for you guys here a little bit. Up until I met my wife, I was in a pretty deep depression. I was in a bad place, and when I talk about that other Dion, when I think back to the person I was in the past, he would not be able to sit in front of a camera and talk to people about a game. I barely spoke. Like I literally restricted the amount of words I would say. My self-image was terrible, and had terrible thoughts about myself and just about life. And to be where I am now is amazing. And number one person in all that is my wife. Like, she completely changed my life. Mrs. Gold Squadron podcast. This entire thing is nothing without her. She is the number one supporter. Because, ever since I started, this was like the first time I was like, hey, I'm thinking about starting this podcast. We had been already together for a while. It had been already 4 years. She said, I think that's a great idea. Go for it. And just has been supportive, everything we've been doing. She's behind the scenes giving me advice. I bounce ideas off of her all the time. And just being able to have that support from somebody is amazing. And to be where I am now, where we are as a family, is crazy. It's just nuts to think that my daughter, okay, this podcast is older than my daughter, okay? Since my daughter's entire existence, her papi has been Gold Squadron podcast, has been doing this. And it's just something that's part of her life. She literally will walk around the house and say Gold Squadron out. Like it's part of her life. And it's amazing. Thank you to all of our patrons, people who have been willing to put forth their money to not only just financially support with the, because all the things in front of me that make this possible. I would not have been able to do it without you guys. It started with a couple of things that I just had and cobbled together, and you guys have made this the computer, the camera, the lights, everything is because you guys. I would not have been able to do this without you at all. Some of our like mega supporters who have just really just who have came and say, hey, you know what? You want a surprise? Here you go. People like Chubraka, who just like the first time was at Minoc Open, just was like, subs, here are subs. He's done that a few times. Thank you to ISOFan. You see I have the sign up because that man is ridiculous. I invited him on the show. He's busy, but I mean, just a huge thank you to him. Because of him, I was able to get an editing computer, and it has really saved me a ton of time because I can actually do things significantly faster because I have a machine that can handle what I'm making it do, rather than just using the streaming laptop, which isn't ideal for video editing. It really isn't. So a huge thank you to him. And I want to talk a little bit about the future of Gold Squadron podcast. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Nothing. This is not like, all right, episode 100 will be the last. No, absolutely not. We're gonna get to 200, and hopefully more than that. The first thing I want to address is if a lot of you guys are patrons, you know that one of the goals on the Patreon is to get to 650 patrons, and that goal says if we get there, I go full time. We're 20 people away from hitting that goal, and that is mind blowing. I set that up as this will never get here, and to be 20 people away is. It's ridiculous. Now, you might be wondering, well, what's the practical side of that? And well, the practical side, I mean, I've talked to my wife. My wife wants me to have one job. And again, another look behind the curtain into my life. I have had multiple jobs for the last 9-ish years. Gold Squadron ended up becoming my second job, but really not until about, I would say now it's a year ago, I had other part-time jobs where I was working at Old Navy. I was a beer seller at the Bears Stadium, Soldier Field. There it goes. I was a ticket scanner at Wrigley Field. I was a janitor at a couple churches where I was trying to bring in extra income for my family to try to pay off our debts, pay off student loans, and all that stuff. And to be able to make this my second job where I no longer had to do that is crazy. And now to get to a point where this could be a possibility where it could be my only job, it's crazy. I mean, if we get that before the end of the year, am I going to quit my job? My wife and I have talked about it, and most likely I end up working, assuming everything continues, maybe it continues to grow. I'll probably teach one more year just because of the amount of time that I put in. I put in 40-plus hours a week into Gold Squadron podcasts, so I am working 2 full-time jobs essentially, and that's not even on top of the travel and the extra tournaments and all that. And it's gotten to a point where I'm stretched pretty thin, and there are things that I want to do, but I can't because I literally don't have the hours in the day. So hopefully, if this is going to continue to grow, I'm going to have to go full-time, and most likely that ends up happening after the 2019-2020 school year. I absolutely love teaching. Absolutely love it. But the reality is that if I want to, this is it's a risk. It is a risk. And one of our good friends in Gold Squadron, Darwin, was like, Dion, like, what about X and Y and Z and all these things? Like, hey, Darwin, I have plans for X and Y and Z. I think it'll work. Here they are. And he goes, of course, Dion, I can't believe I doubted you. Of course you would have plans for those things. So we'll see how they grow. And we'll see. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But to have a possibility there, I think is amazing. And thank you to every single person to who's made that a possibility. To even think that that could be a thing. That I could make Gold Squadron a company where I could start hiring people and just make it something great. Just it's got me super excited, which leads me into 2 other future big things. I want to talk to you guys about the Gold Squadron Classic. I don't have any details on dates or anything like that, but I'm going to tell you that there's a team of people right now working really hard and planning. We want to make the Gold Squadron Classic one of, if not the biggest community-run X-Wing event that has ever happened, at least in the United States. There are plans. I can't reveal anything, but I can say that. Okay? So look forward to it. Hopefully we can see you there at the Gold Squadron Classic when it comes. More information to come. It'll be in the fall sometime. So still a ways away, but some big things coming. And on top of that, there is even another level coming to the... Oh, God, I got to figure out how to say this without actually saying it. How do I tease you without saying anything? Let me just say that there's more coming. There's more coming from me and my people. I'll say it like that. It'll take time, but it's coming. And I want to let you guys know that I can't. I'm really bad at keeping secrets when it comes to this because I just get super excited and I want to spill the beans. But there are a couple things I do have to hold back, and when they come to fruition, it's going to be great, and I'm super excited to share those with you. And I want to close by saying thank you to everybody who has been active on the show to get us to 100 episodes. And maybe you haven't even heard of these people. Maybe you haven't heard them on the podcast before because they've been gone for such a long time. Thank you to Ron Longi. Okay, he was the first co-host I had. Thank you to Andrea Longi, his wife. Okay, they were on the shows for quite a while. Thank you to Alex Maring. He was on the show for a long time. And thank you to Nate for his participation on the show and helping us out for a while. And thank you, of course, to Will and Marcel. They're here now. We've done a ton of episodes together. And no offense to the past, but I'm always looking at now and to the future. I think these are some of the best pieces of content that we're putting out, some of the best podcasts. And I know that this podcast specifically isn't super content filled, but hopefully you've had a good time just reminiscing with us. You know, episode 101, we'll be back on our normal, routine here. But I wanted to take a second to just really appreciate the community, appreciate the people who have made this possible, and just to be thankful. You know, I'm not going to worry about all the closing things. You guys know what to do. Thank you so much for your support, and always feel free to reach out. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Discord. I know that I can't get to everybody very quickly. Honestly, I got a backlog of emails now, but if I have time, trust me, guys, I'm in there trying to crush out emails, get things shipped, and all this stuff. And that's because I super care about this, and I want to make Gold Squadron the best that it can be.